Guys REPULSE here, and welcome back to another Avengers video. And we are kicking off with Hulk, and this is his skill tree, and let's just get into it and see what we got. We got our basic stuff. So pummel, pressing square to do a basic melee attack, rapidly pressing square 4 times to combo a series of light attacks, inflict increased damage with each attack. Pretty cool. Obviously, the last hit of the light combo finisher inflicts massive damage and knocks back enemies. Breaks blocks, finishers only, so that last finishing hit will break the block of guarding enemies, which is cool. We have battering ram, so while sprinting, press square to perform a powerful shoulder charge that staggers opponents, exposing them to follow-up attacks. Cool. We have ram reinforcement, so creates a small radial explosion on impact and generates additional rage energy when battering ram is used. Pretty cool. We have green bomber, so pressing square while in midair to perform an aerial light attack, rapidly pressing square 3 times, or air to combo a series of quick attacks that incrementally increases in damage. There we go. The last hit of combo is a light combo finisher that inflicts significant damage. Man, they like to use hard words on these. Okay, so monstrous swipe. Quickly pressing square after dodging to execute a sweeping backhand attack that launches enemies into the air, leaving them vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Pretty sweet. We then have cannonballs, so pressing L2 and R2 to pick up a small debris and then firing it, also breaks blocks. We have meteor, pressing L2 and R2 to grab a large debris and then pressing R2 to fire it, breaks blocks, is cool. And then we have shatter spin, after grabbing a large debris chunk, pressing triangle or square to execute a powerful melee attack using the meteor rubble as a weapon. Can be used in the air or on the ground, so that's pretty cool. Now our heavy attacks, we have gamma hammer. That's actually pretty cool. Welcome to the Gamma Hammer. Anyways, press triangle to execute a heavy attack that can interrupt enemy attacks. Rapidly pressing triangle twice to combo a pair of heavy attacks. So you slam down and then you rip the ground up, which is pretty cool. And then obviously the last hit launches enemies in the air, which is pretty cool. We have ground shaker, so while sprinting you can press triangle and then lunge forwards to make a shockwave of damage, which is pretty cool. And then we have hammer strike, rapidly pressing square 3 times and ending it with a triangle to chain the light combo into a heavy finisher, inflicts massive damage and sends enemies flying, so that's pretty cool. Then we have smash, so holding triangle will smash the ground and create a shockwave that damages nearby enemies. We then have aftershock, after doing a powerful triangle and then pressing triangle again to perform another massive radial attack that knocks back opponents. And then you do it one more time, bang, again, sweet. Then we have tectonic fury, so after executing a powerful attack, rapidly pressing triangle to combo 5 more radial attacks before unleashing a powerful ground smash. So you kind of want to do that to basically crowd control, which is cool. Then we have Skyfall. While in midair, press triangle to perform an aerial slam that knockbacks down enemies caught in the ensuring shockwave. And then we have our Earth Smasher, so it's more of a charged version of it and does more damage and it's powerful, so that's pretty cool. We have Power Spike, so we can grab enemies in this one. So after grabbing one enemy, hold triangle to leap in the air and slam the enemy in the ground, which breaks blocks and it makes enemies go flying, which is awesome. We have bludgeoned, pressing square to grab an enemy and then pressing square 3 times or triangle 3 times while holding an enemy to execute light or heavy grab combos, which is cool. We have air spike. While in midair, hold triangle after grabbing an enemy to slam enemies into the ground, launching nearby combatants into the air. That's cool. We have Gamma Crusher, so after grabbing 2 enemies, hold triangle to slam both enemies together, dealing tremendous damage to held enemies and sending out a devastating damage shockwave. Sweet. We have Smackdown. While holding square while holding an enemy to grab a second opponent, while holding 2 enemies, pressing square 3 times or triangle to execute dual light heavy combos. Cool. Then we have Aerial Gamma Crush, so basically doing the same and as Gamma Crush, just in the air, which is cool. And then we have Ionic Overflow, sorry. When attacking with enemies, attacks will deal status damage based on the type of enemy that has been grabbed. Applies to both light and heavier combos, so that's actually pretty cool. If you have a, I guess, a shock enemy, you can then use your Ionic Overflow to fight with shock damage. That's pretty cool. Then we have Rage. So pressing R2 will increase damage by 15% and recover willpower, so that's cool. Gamma Siphon, 15% reduction in damage from enemy gamma attacks, pretty cool. Controlled Chaos, reduce the cost of using Rage by 20%. Devil's Rampage, takedowns boost the energy of the intrinsic rage meter by 15%. We have Unstoppable Furiosity, increasing maximum energy value of the intrinsic rage meter by 15%. We then have Monster of Mayhem. Further, it reduces the cost of using rage and increases the amount of intrinsic energy boosted from attacking and taking damage by 15%. Let's go down one actually. Survival Instincts increases willpower recovery while rage is active by 100%. That is pretty cool. Laxan Frenzy boosts the energy of intrinsic rage meter when performing a perfect evade by 10 points. That's cool. We have Cataclysm. When rage is fully active, builds up extra energy to overcharge it, while overcharge rage is automatically active and damage from all sources increased by 20%. In order to stay overcharged, keep attacking enemies or perfectly parrying enemy attacks. Getting hit or not attacking enemies for a short duration will cause overcharge to end. Okay. Unbearable Might, increasing all damage while rage is overcharged by 20%. That is your primary. Let's move on to your specials, your specialities. So this is your heroic, your support, assault, and ultimate. So this is your Bone Crash. So L1 to taunt enemies, which is cool. Then we have Resonant Frequency, increases Bone Shaker duration by 4%, 4 seconds even. And then we have Frenzy, immune to status effects while Bone Shaker is active and increases the duration by another 4 seconds. And then we have increase enemies affected by Bone Shaker take 25% more stun damage. That is awesome. We have Bone Shaker Specialization 1. We have Rampaging Bone Shaker, defeat 5 enemies while Bone Shaker is active even, to extend its duration by 5 seconds. It's cool. Bone Shaker Regeneration, defeat 5 enemies while Bone Shaker is active in order to restore all willpower. That's cool. Bone Shaker's Rage, defeat 5 enemies while Bone Shaker is active to instantly refill all intrinsic rage energy. Cool. And then we have, I've already done those, so yeah. Number 2, Bone Shaker Specialization. We have Savage Regeneration. Defeating enemies who are taunted by Bone Shaker causes them to drop regen packs. They drop heroic orbs and also and this one is Savage Intimidation. Attacks from taunted enemies have reduced impact. Cool. So we have Stranglehold. So you basically charge at them and then grab someone to slam someone into the ground. We have Siphoning Grasp, restores up to 60% of maximum willpower based on the amount of damage dealt with Stranglehold even. Raging Grasp grants up to 100% bonus rage energy based on the amount of damage dealt with Stranglehold. This is specialization number 1. This is Heroic Destruction, 50% chance defeating an enemy will generate a Heroic Orb. Deals 200% more stun damage at the end of the Stranglehold heroic ability. That's cool. Then Irradiating Destruction. On the final slam that impacts cause a massive radial hazard of gamma particles. As long as enemies are inside the hazard area, they will take a small amount of additional damage as well as gamma damage. That's pretty cool. We have Stranglehold Specialization number 2. Let's do this. Destructive Health. 50% chance to defeat an enemy will generate a regen pack. That's cool. Barbaric Charge. Stranglehold taunts nearby enemies and instantly overcharges the intrinsic rage ability. Cool. And then we have double strangle, generates an additional charge of the stranglehold heroic ability, so you can do that twice. That's pretty cool. Here we have Thunderclap, L1 and R1 to make a massive shockwave, and I do like this ability, it's so cool. Heavy-handed, increases Thunderclap's damage by 25%. We have Fly Swatter, Thunderclap will destroy incoming projectiles and further increases damage by 25%, sorry. This is Thunderclap specialization number 1. We have Epicenter, the duration of Thunderclap shockwave is increased by, well, distance even, by 30%, that's cool. Then we have Ground Zero. Thunderclap creates a brief vacuum that draws in nearby enemies before launching them upwards with the attack. The attack creates a gamma radiation zone that inflicts gamma damage to affected enemies by regenerates 2% willpower every second for teammates within the area. That's cool. Flatline forces the Thunderclap shockwave into a narrow area of effect that but increases both damage and stun damage by 25%, demolishing enemies caught in its blast. Awesome. So we have specialization number 2. This is Thunderclap regeneration. There is a 50% chance of defeating enemies with Thunderclap will cause a regen pack. This is heroic orb on Thunderclap kill, and we have enemies who survive Thunderclap become taunted. Sweet. And then we have his movement, so he has his dodge, his grip, so pressing X to hold to move up, and then bounding jump, so he can jump pretty high. Pretty cool. Now we move on to his mastery. So we go from grabbing specialization. This is Vice Grip. Attacks with held enemies are now protected from interruption from enemy attacks. However, the damage will still be applied. Cool. Double durable bludgeoned. Sorry. Held enemies take 30% less damage on hit with light grab combos. That's also cool. Keeping them in your hands will be pretty cool. Combat shield. Holding R2 while holding a grabbed enemy to absorb incoming damage forces dropping of enemies when successful. Okay. We have grab specialization number 2. We have hard swings, increases damage and impact of held enemies by 20%. Cool. Enhanced grab. 15% improved chance grab attempts will succeed against evasive enemies. Regen slams. Slamming held enemies with heavy attacks has a 15% chance to generate regen packs. That can be very handy. Then we have our takedown specializations. Willpower takedown, so regen. We have our heroic regen takedown. And we have recovers 35% points of willpower after performing a takedown. So you could either take a regen pack or you can take 35 points of willpower, depending on what you want. Our ranged projectile specialization, we have rubble. Throw debris of any size on impact, inflicting normal and stun damage over a wide area. Cool. Bedrock. Increases damage from thrown small debris by 15% and allows small debris chunks to pin enemies hit by the attack. Cool. Then we have Wrecking Ball. Large debris do not break apart when thrown, instead rolling on the ground, inflicting damage to every enemy hit by the attack. Multiple combatants can be pinned by a projectile when thrown. Then we have damage specialization for this. Range damage is increased by 15%. We have thrown enemies travel faster and inflict 15% more damage against combatants they hit. Pretty cool. And then we have meteor damage, increased damage by 15% when using large debris as a thrown projectile. Efficiency. Hand cannon increases light and heavy attack damage by 33.3% when using small debris as a melee weapon. Excavator increases speed of picking up both large and small debris by 15%. And then we have Meteoric. Increases the durability and damage of large debris chunks by 33.3% when using the melee light attack and heavy attack. God, that's a lot of debris. Defense specialization. Raging Heroics increases charge rate of all heroic meters by 15% while rage is active. Pretty cool. Recovers willpower by 10% while rage is active and when dealing damage. Raging defense increases defensive strength by 15% while rage is active. Here we have damage specialization. Increase all damage by 15% while rage is active. Enhanced combo finisher increases damage of light and heavy combo finishers by 25% while rage is active. Enhanced bludgeoned, increased damage by 15% when using held enemies as a weapon, melee weapon, while rage is active. Okay, cool. Then we have our efficiency. Berserker Rage increases the intrinsic energy gained by 15% when defeating combatants with held enemies. Then we have Controlled Rage, reduces the initial cost of triggering Rage by 15%. And then we have Maximum Rage, increases the maximum amount of intrinsic Rage energy by 15%. Noise. Overcharge Specialization. We have Impact Boost, increased impact while overcharged by 25%, decreasing the chance enemies will be able to interrupt attacks. Chance Boost, increase critical attacks chance by 15% while overcharged. Defense Boost, increase defensive strength by 15% while overcharged. Increase all damage by 20% while overcharged. Stun Boost, increase stun damage while overcharged by 30%, accelerating the rate of which enemy stun meters fill. Okay. Increase status damage while overcharged by 30%, accelerating the rate at which all status meters fill. And then we have our last efficiency one, Hothead, increase the amount of overcharge intrinsic rage meter energy gained for all attacks by 20%. We have Pancake, increase overcharge energy gained from takedowns by 50%. Cool. Then we have Temper, reduce the rate at which overcharge energy drains, allowing you to stay overcharged longer. And that is your Hulk stuff. That is your Hulk mastery, your Hulk speciality, and your Hulk primary. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more Marvel Avengers. Go check out my Black Widow, Iron Man, and Miss Marvel skill tree breakdown. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.